Hi and welcome to another episode of Underrated Songs. In this video, the song that we're going to take a look at is a song called Naina Neer Bahaye.
Naina Neer Bahaye.
This is from the 2005 film Water. So this song is being composed by A R Rahman. Lyric writer is Sukhwinder Singh and the singer is Sadhana Sargam. But before we get into the video, I've seen that many of you watch my videos. Thanks a lot for watching. But not a lot of you who watch are subscribed. So I can see that more than 50% of you are not really subscribed to the channel, but you watch my videos, and I'm grateful for that. But it would be really nice if you could just hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, so whenever I drop a new video, you get notified and you can see the video. With that out of the way, let's get right into the video. For a change, let's start with composition, because let's face it, this is an A R Rahman song through and through. The song is this great because of his genius, and there are multiple layers to it. I'll get to that. So the first thing is that the song has been composed in a very rare rag called Bhatiyar. I tried looking up some stuff on the rag, and it turns out very few songs have been composed in this rag in more than 100 years of Hindi film music. Legacy. So I could barely find 3 or 4, including this song. So this is a very typical rag. It's quite intense based on whatever I heard. What makes this rag so peculiar is that the way in which it moves, the flow, is not simple up and down like for many rags. So the chalan, as it's called in Hindustani music, is vakra, which means it's not straight, it's teda meda, to use colloquial language. So there are skips and misses in between the notes. So it can jump from the first to the fifth, then come back to the third, or maybe go to the seventh, based on the notes within the scale. Now, I'm not a student of Indian classical music, so I don't know the finer points and the nuances of this rag. But from whatever I could find out, these are the notes in the scale. Also, here I want to note that there are notes used in this song which are not in the rag. So Rahman has somewhere in the harmony or even in the melody, I think, gone outside of this rag structure and used certain notes which would enhance the song. There are portions of the song where it sounds almost bright and slightly happy, but again then it switches to this intense kind of a sound. So how does Rahman do that? He does this using intervals. So there are certain intervals within the rag which give you that happy feeling, but then there are certain intervals which give you that intense feeling. So the interval or the note change that gives you that intense, almost dark kind of a sound is the minor second interval. It sounds like a big term, but it simply means that the second note is flattened. It sounds something like this. Other than that, this is a simple antara mukhra kind of a song. There are 2 antras, but the beauty lies in the way how he comes back from the antara to the mukhra, and he uses chords and harmony to do this perfectly. Now let's talk about lyrics. It might be surprising for a few people that the lyric writer here is the playback singer, Sukhwinder Singh. For some of us, we knew that he was a lyric writer because that's how he started, and that's how he actually got introduced to Rahman as well, I think. And also, he carries this rich cultural heritage from Punjab, and he has dabbled in all sorts of music, so he has that vocabulary and rich cultural heritage which he has put in the song. For context, this film is set in the early 20th century, and it is about the state of widows in India back in that time. Sati was prominent and there were other malpractices that were going on. So it is a film about that. So here the protagonist is a widow, so it's a song about that, and now she wants to find love as well. So this entire song is a description of love, but it's not just the man-woman love. Sukhwinder has handled it from different dimensions. How does he do that? He brings in folklore and our history. So you find references to Radha and Krishna. You find reference to the story where they present wish or poison to Radha and it turns into Amrit. He says that. Then he brings it to the divine. Then from that, he goes back to music and says that love is music, where he says that ye hai saat suro ka darya. So he basically binds our folklore, our tradition, our divinity, our history, and our music with this one thread, this one word, pyar or prem or love or however you want to call it. Sukhwinder has written many songs over the years in Hindi and in Punjabi, but as far as I am concerned, this is his best song ever. With that being said, let's get into the singing. So the singer here is Sadhana Sargam, who when she sung the song was already a very experienced singer. But what I really love about her is that she does the job to the T. There are many singers who try to show off their singing prowess or skills, but you can never hear that in a Sadhana Sargam song. Also, what is very important to note that Rahman usually calls her for tricky songs, which are Indian classical based, but you have to have that film kind of a sound as well. So if you note in this song, it is very tricky. It's based purely on Indian classical music, but the feel is not of a classical singer on a stage doing an alap. It's very measured. It is metered. It's for a film. So you have to have that voice culture and project the song in a way that it is a melodic song for people to listen to, or rag dari ne lage. It's not like an academical lesson on rag bhatyar, but it's a song. So Sadhana Sargam pulls this song off absolutely brilliantly. With that being said, let's talk about arrangement and production. So the production again is top notch, but what's more commendable is the decision to not overproduce. So the song has very minimalistic production, a couple of percussion elements. There is a groove that comes in, like a tabla and a matka kind of a groove, but that comes in much later in the song. There are strings in some portion which kind of elevate the song, but for the most part, it is that plucked instrument. I'm not really sure. I can't pick that up by ear which instrument that is exactly. I think it sounded like a santoor, and it has been used really amazingly well. And why I say that is that to maintain the intensity of a scale or a rag, there are some notes that have to be played again and again. You have to keep making them prominent so that the effect or that soul of the rag comes through the piece. So how does he do that? At the end of many phrases, he just plucks all of the strings and you hear all of the notes of the rag. So that's how they maintain that feeling of the rag throughout the song. Otherwise, there are some small flute portions as well, but everything is so subdued, everything is so simple, and there's nothing like a lot of virtuosity or dikhate hain kitna acha bajana aata hai, nothing of that sort. So the composition, the singing, the lyrics, the minimal instrumentation, everything works so well in tandem. I think the goal here was to tug at the heartstrings of every listener, and that exactly is what this song does, and it does even after like 16 years of its release. And this is absolutely one of my all-time favorite songs by A R Rahman. So if some of you haven't heard it, please go and check the song out and then come and watch this video again so you'll understand it a little bit better. So that's it for the video. If you like this video, please leave a like. Check out other stuff on my channel. I do a lot of music related content, music reviews, music recommendations, and other videos. So if you like any of that, please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell, because I am trying to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need all your support for that. If you want to tell me anything at all, good, bad, ugly, put that in the comment section down below, or you could simply DM me on Instagram. You can find the handle in the description as well. With that being said, I'll take a leave and I'll see you in the next video.